The European Commission opened an unprecedented inquiry into whether new Polish laws break EU democracy rules. The inquiry follows President Andrzej Duda's approval of a controversial laws enabling the Conservative Law and Justice government to appoint the heads of public TV and radio, as well as choose judges for Poland's constitutional court. I24 News' Maya Margit has the story.
Is Poland's democracy on the brink of collapse? The European Commission launched an unprecedented inquiry on Wednesday into whether new Polish laws violate EU democratic rules. This after President Andrzej Duda greenlighted controversial laws that allow his conservative government to appoint heads of public TV and radio, as well as select judges for Poland's constitutional court.
I'm also conscious of the recent reform of the media law, which raises issues pertaining to freedom and pluralism of the media. I would like to recall that the rule of law, as defined in the rule of law framework, requires the respect for democracy and for fundamental rights, and that there can be no democracy and respect for fundamental rights without respect for the rule of law, and vice versa.
Critics see the move as the latest attempt by the ruling Law and Justice Party to consolidate power, and are calling it a throwback to Soviet-style politics. Under the new law, senior figures in public radio and television will be appointed and can be sacked by the finance minister. They will no longer be hired through tenders organized by the National Broadcasting Council. The new legislation will also see existing public broadcasting managers fired with immediate effect.
Public media used to be pluralist. There was something for every taste. There were left-leaning conversations and right-leaning conversations. Now this will become governmental media, and thus propaganda.
The judicial changes have led to widespread protests. Tens of thousands took to the streets in major Polish cities over the weekend, many of them shouting anti-government slogans. On Wednesday, European Commission Vice President Franz Timmermans said the goal of the probe is to, quote, start a dialogue with Poland. But the Polish government insists the changes are perfectly consistent with the rule of law and that Brussels should mind its own business. If the Commission deems Warsaw's new legislation to be a systemic threat to basic EU values, they could suspend Poland's voting rights in the EU Council, where member states shape EU policy.